Hey everyone, it's Chris from Chris Beat Cancer, and today I want to introduce you to my friend Prudence Sinclair. Now, Prudence and I did a really long, awesome interview telling her cancer healing story, but we also wanted to make a short version so people that don't have an hour to watch the long one can get the highlights of her story. So, something I've started doing lately, trying to condense things down, just because, no one has time to watch long interviews. So, anyway, thanks for doing this, Prudence.
Oh, thanks for having me back to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah, we all have attention spans of gnats these days.
that's
So,
right.
yeah, a short synopsis is better.
It is. And our other video has had about 9,000 views, which is fantastic. I mean, for
Yeah,
an
yeah,
hour-long interview.
amazing.
So let me introduce you. Anybody that hasn't seen that, doesn't know anything about Prudence, she was diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma in 1984. And obviously she's sitting here alive today. So
Very much
something,
so.
yeah, something she did worked. And it wasn't conventional therapy. So Prudence, let's hear your story. What'd you do?
Sure. Well, I was diagnosed in my mid-20s, and I'd never heard the word melanoma in my life. I never knew what it meant. But I sat down on my bed. I was living in Australia at the time, and I'm originally a Kiwi, which I've got to put in there. And I sat down on my bed, and there was just a nasty pain in the back of my thigh. And I was recently married, and my husband said to me, I think you better go and get that checked out. I said, oh, I don't know what it is. So I went to my doctor, and I was rushed to an oncologist, and I was rushed into hospital. And long story short, I came out with stage 4 malignant melanoma. So after, many months getting well because I got a staph infection and, all the horrible things that can happen to you with major surgery. And, after healing, which took many, many months, and then I was in the shower 8 months later, and I had 2 lumps the size of golf balls in my groin.
Ugh, wow.
So, you know what that feels like when you feel those things. Your just heart
I don't,
sinks.
actually, but I
Feel
don't
like,
want to know.
yeah, it feels like death. It's a very serious sinking feeling of, oh my God. And so I went to my doctor, and he said, oh, we've got to, take the lymph nodes out and everything out of there and put you on major chemotherapy. And I went, hey, doc, you told me you had it all last time. So I'm really not believing you anymore. In fact, my words were a lot stronger than that, but I refused to say that on YouTube. They were a lot stronger. I told him where to go because I was like, this doesn't make sense to me. And my dear husband, wanted me to have the best of the best medical professionals. So he took me to 3 other well-known oncologists. And of course, they all went to the same medical school, so they all had the same answer. And that was what they were going to offer me. And they said I could lose my leg, and the lymph drainage wouldn't be working with the lymph nodes, so my leg would blow up. All scary stuff. I'm like, this still doesn't make sense. So I went to the library because there was no internet back then, and I started studying. And I researched everything I could find. I found the Louis Pasteur Clinic, the Hans Nijper Clinic, clinics in Mexico, all sorts of clinics in Mexico, the Gershon BioCare, which it is now called now.
International Biocare, yeah.
Yeah, International BioCare, also the Oasis of Hope, all these different clinics, and also clinics in the United States. And, how did I make that decision to go there? It was a feeling deep down inside. It was if, God had spoken to me, or the higher power of the universe, and said, Prue, this is the way you've got to go. So at 26 years of age, I get on a plane. All my friends come to the airport. They give me a koala bear saying, true blue, mate. All the best. We support you, but we're scared for you. And off I went on my own and went across the rubble into Tijuana to International BioCare. But it was the moment I walked through that door that something changed in my brain. There was hope. There was a questionnaire of 450 questions all about me. And what I wanted for my future, for my life, was I happy in my job? Was I happy in my relationship? Everything to do about the emotional aspects, which we now know is 80 to 85% of a disease. So, I fell into this alternative medicine and I loved it. I loved my doctor. I started having nightmares because of fear, and he just talked me through it. But I think that was what was really unique, about the alternative route and these doctors. They were your mates. They understood you,
Yeah.
and they worked with you and your personality and your feelings, and it was just so different from the white coats that scared me,
Yeah.
totally scared me.
Talk a little bit about your diet and some of the therapies you did.
Yeah, so I did the Laetrile, and then I also did the intravenous vitamin C, and that whole concoction, which also included the live blood cells, and the live cells were from Germany, the bovine substance. So I had those, and just a myriad of immune system stimulant type natural therapies.
Mm-hmm.
When I got home, I wasn't quite happy with their diet. So, it was basically a good diet, but I felt I needed to do something more. So I actually came across this wonderful woman who had saved her life with liver cancer. So I saw her every week, and she put me on a raw foods Hippocrates diet. And, that was the juicing, and I loved that diet. I felt alive. I was up at 5 a.m. in the morning, and I'm normally very much a sleepyhead in the morning. But that just gave me the energy. And then I went, wow, I'm feeling better. And then they didn't teach me meditation, so I learned how to meditate, and I read, everything I could find, and that's when I found Dear Bernie Siegel's cassette tapes and started listening to him. So, putting all those things together with my, health foods, my natural foods, my meditation, visualization, imagery, where I saw myself well, and I did that up to 4 to 5 hours a day in the meditation. And when I was in meditation, I didn't have cancer. It was just a terrific feeling. So it took me time to get my action plan together. But that's what I tell every cancer patient that I've worked with. And over the years, I've worked with thousands of them because I ended up working back at International Biocare with the cancer patients. And I also opened up a nutritional and mind-body therapy clinic in Perth, Australia. So, I tell everybody it's important. Get an action plan. This is your health, and if you're not organized, your head does a number on you. Mm-hmm. So get an action plan and make sure you stick to it every day,
That's
with your
advice.
meditations, every hour I had something I had to do.
Yeah.
And I stuck with it.
Yeah,
so
make a plan and work the plan.
That's it.
Last question. How long did it take you to get well?
They put me in remission. Those 4 wonderful words, "you are in remission," were 4 years. Mm-hmm. 4 years after the diagnosis.
Okay. So
they felt everything was in the clear.
Yeah. So again, if you're watching this and you have cancer, it takes time to heal. Some people heal very fast. Some people heal slowly. I think the average is about 2 years. Yeah. But again, 4 years. So you just have to be patient, stay the course, and make sure you're working with professionals that can monitor your progress so that you know that what you're doing is working, right? If the tumors aren't growing, that's a great sign. That's very positive. And if they're shrinking, even better. So, so that's important.
Yeah, I think, when the lumps in the groin started to dissipate, that's when I really started to believe I was on the right path.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need a sign. And you need to go deep within, and how you feel is a really good sign.
Yeah.
How you feel when you wake up in the morning.
Well, thank you, Prudence. This is great. So I'll wrap up this little short version of our interview. If you'd like to hear Prudence's full story, I'll put a link below this video or a link in the video. And please go watch that because her story is just remarkable. And she has such deep wisdom and insight into not only just alternative therapies, but just the mindset you need to have and so much more. So Thanks, Prudence.
Thank you, Chris. This is terrific. We've
You're
got to
welcome.
love YouTube and the internet.
Yes, we do. We love YouTube. So, again, thanks for watching. Please share this and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next one.
Okay, great. Thank you, Chris.
Bye-bye.
Bye.